And we're off. So today I am on the UrbanGlide Pro. This is an electric bike that's made for the city like I'm in right now out here in St. Louis. And I've partnered with VanPowers for this video to give you my impressions of this bike. So this bike does have three different versions. So you have the regular UrbanGlide, you have the UrbanGlide Pro, and also the UrbanGlide Ultra. And there are some differences between them, like the regular UrbanGlide doesn't come with a suspension seat post, but this Pro model does. And then the Ultra model does have a mid-drive motor, and the other ones have a 500-watt rear hub motor. So yeah, again, I'm on the Pro for this particular video. The normal price is $18.99. Right now it's going for like $16.99, but I'm going to leave a link down below in the description of this video so you can get the most up-to-date price by the time you're watching this video. Now this bike does come in three different colors. So you have red, you have this kind of like lime green, and also you have this gray, almost a little bit more of like a dark gray color that you can choose from. Now, another advantage of this Pro model is that you do have two different sizes as far as like rider height that this will fit. So the small version does support riders between 5'1" and 5'9", and then the large version of the bike, which I have here, does support riders between 5'7" and 6'3". And because this bike does have a step-through design, it's pretty easy to get on and off because you just slide your legs in between the middle of the frame here, and then now you can hop up on the seat. And this bike can support a rider that weighs up to 260 pounds. Now on the back of this rear rack, you will find a tail light that does double as a brake light. So press down on the brakes, it will brighten up a little bit. And then on the front, you do have a headlight to help light up the path in front of you when you are riding around at night. All right, so we have some beautiful weather out here in St. Louis today, but anyway, let's jump right into my speed test. So the first test will be throttle only, and we have a thumb throttle right here on the left-hand side of the handlebars, but let's get this thing going in 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, so decent start, not zippy off the line. I never said that before, zippy, but anyway, we're at around 18 miles per hour on the bike's display and 19 miles per hour on my GPS app. And now we're showing 20 miles per hour on both the bike's display and the GPS app. So it's really nice to see that this is in sync. Sometimes these bike companies kind of overestimate their speed. Now this does ship to you as a class 2 electric bike. So the 20 mile per hour limit is what you should expect. So quick little test of the hydraulic disc brakes. You can see that this thing comes to a stop in a hurry. Very nice and quiet brakes. I always say that when that's the case because I hate squeaky brakes. But anyway, yeah, 20 miles per hour using throttle only. That's the advertised speed, and we hit that. And now for the same test, but using pedal assist. So let's get this thing going in 3, 2, 1, boom. And I have it on pedal assist level 5. And I'm gonna get my legs moving here and see what we can get with this. And so we already hit 20 miles per hour pretty quickly on this thing. And actually I'm showing 21, 22, and I am pumping my legs a little hard here. So yeah, again, with this being a class 2 electric bike, you can get a couple of miles over 20 miles per hour, but you're gonna be trying and working very hard to do that. All right, so let's go downhill a little bit. It's got a nice little train next to me. But yeah, this is a very bumpy road, as you might be able to tell. But this does have a front suspension that comes in with 80 millimeters of travel. So this hydraulic suspension post on the front does a pretty good job. Decent amount of travel there to help soften the bumps that you go over. And this bike doesn't have an integrated rear suspension, but it does come with a suspension seat post that has 30 millimeters of travel. And what a cool shot this is. But anyway, in a perfect world, I always want to see like a front and rear suspension built in. But if we don't have a rear suspension, I at least want to see a suspension seat post. So it is good to have that here. Combined with that, you do have a pretty good seat, wide enough for a big butt person like myself. But also that helps give you that little bit of a extra bounce when I'm going over stuff like this. All right, so we have a little bit of a hill that bends around this corner, but I do want to test out the torque sensor and just the pedaling experience going up a hill like this. So let's go ahead and get going from a complete dead stop here. So this 500-watt motor combined with this torque sensor gives you an excellent pedaling experience. So I'm not even in the proper gear properly, but I'm able to cruise up this hill. I'm talking to you, not out of breath. Very good feeling. So that's the advantage of having a torque sensor, is the fact that a torque sensor versus your traditional cadence sensor that you see on a lot of e-bikes around this price range is that the torque sensor is going to be able to respond to your input while you're using your legs and your feet to pedal this bike. And it allows the motor to respond to give you the exact power that you're trying to get while you're pedaling. All right, so now for my pretty standard hill test, because I love this hill because it's nice and long and a little steep. But anyway, starting from a complete stop, 3, 2, 1, boom, throttle only for this test. I weigh around 220 pounds on a good day, and we're at 9 miles per hour, 10 miles per hour, making our way up this hill. Now, of course, if you want to get up here as fast as possible, you want to pedal and stuff, but throttle only, just chilling. 13 miles per hour looks like the top speed, and we made it up the hill. Now, the cable management for this bike is generally good. I probably will use a couple of more zip ties and stuff to tighten up some of these cables, but overall the cable management that goes internal inside of the bike frame is good. And then also we do have the controls on the handlebars as far as being able to control this really nice and big and bright and colorful display. And so the screen has some really nice colorful animations. It'll give you all the information as far as like your distance traveled, your speed, your average speed, all of that good stuff. And even it'll tell you like how many calories you've been burning as well. And it'll also give you the time and the battery remaining. But if you really want to get the maximum use out of this bike, there is the VanPowers app that you can download. And so once you download, you'll actually be able to track your trip progress and then also be able to use navigation and different things like that that really allow this bike to really become a little bit more smart, I would say. So definitely recommend downloading that app and using that with this bike. All right, let me see if I can split the gap here without brushing up my knuckles here. Oh, woo, barely did it. So anyway, as far as the rider position, I feel very comfortable on this bike because the handlebars are adjustable. So you have multiple angles to be able to move the handlebars. And I like to sit a little bit more upright than I do forward. So I was able to get the right position when I did go ahead and assemble this bike. And as far as assembly, it was pretty easy. It took me around like 30 minutes or so. So basically you have to put on the front fender and also the front headlight. And then you have to put on the handlebars and also the front tire. And the good thing about the front tire is that it does have a quick release system. So if you do want to put this in the back of your car and you're kind of cramped on room, take off that tire and that'll make it a little bit easier. Now let's talk about batteries. So you have a removable 690 watt hour battery. You can use one of the two keys that comes with this bike to be able to unlock the bike. And then now you can take the battery inside and charge it. Or you can always leave the battery on the bike and charge it that way. You do need to press this button first that's at the bottom near the battery, and then now you'll be able to turn on the display. And this does act as a little bit of a theft deterrent because if someone just hops on your bike and hit the power button, nothing will happen. So that's actually pretty good. But as far as range, VanPowers says that you will be able to get up to 70 miles. And to get that maximum range, you definitely have to be using pedal assist. Now you can still use the thumb throttle on this bike kind of just for cruising like I am right now, but again, to maximize that range, you need to kind of help the bike out a little bit with one of the up to 5 levels of pedal assist. Now, also on the handlebars, you do have the controls for the 8-speed micro shifter. So you'll be able to use that to switch between up to 8 gears to be able to give you some more control over the terrain that you're riding on. And also on the left-hand side, you will find this physical bell. And I have a little bit of a roadblock. Let me get it past it here and hopefully dodge any landmines, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, this bike is just good for cruising. So the Urban in the UrbanGlide name of this UrbanGlide Pro, and I said urban a lot, but yeah, this is really going to be made for like city environments and stuff. So the bike itself does weigh a little bit over 70 pounds, so it's not that heavy, and it's pretty easy for me to get this up on my bike rack, as you can see. But also, if you do need to move this around or carry it upstairs, it's not going to weigh you down too much. And then as far as tires, these have some 27.5 by 2.2 Kenda tires, and these are like the perfect size, as you might find me saying this a lot, because these aren't super thin or super fat, so I can go from like a paid service to this grass, and the ride is super comfortable. So I like a really good fat tire e-bike, but sometimes those tires just look too much like a motorcycle or something. So these tires being right there in the middle are good for, you know, urban environments where you're in a park or something and you want to go a little bit in the grass and stuff. But look, this isn't going to be ideal for like hardcore mountain biking and stuff, but this is a really, really good size, and I'd rather have something like this instead of some like really super thin tires that are really only kind of made for the road. And on top of these tires, you will be finding some metal fenders to help keep you protected if you do go over a puddle or something. Oh, this is a pretty nice little hill to go downhill, and here we go. Testing out the brakes Very nice and controlled, and a little bit of a hill to go up. Very good transition. And I'm picking up some speed here. Oh yeah. Going up. Easy. I don't know why I made that sound. Like I'm drinking a soda or something. And again, going downhill. All right, so I will say that the pedals do come a little low, so just be a little bit aware of that if you are going like on a very sharp turn or something like that. Just kind of move the pedals up around like midway, and you don't have any problem with them scraping on the ground and stuff. And all right, so I think this is all I have for you here with this UrbanGlide Pro. This is just a really good everyday riding bike, good for just cruising around. You have the torque sensor, you have a good amount of range, and overall build quality is really good. So I'll drop a link down below. Again, as I mentioned before, that will take you to the website so you can pick up this bike or just see more information. The good thing about this bike is that it does come with a 6-year warranty as well, which you don't see that often with e-bikes. But yeah, anyway, this is the UrbanGlide Pro. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like. But like always, I do want to thank you for watching, and I will catch you later. Peace.